You ever see other footprints in the snow like this and think to yourself, I wonder what shoe that is? No? Just me? Welcome back to the channel. Of course, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, well, what are you doing? Click that subscribe button. And of course, if you're already subscribed, thank you very much, appreciate you. And consider joining the channel membership, only $1 a month. Details in the pinned comment or the description down below. Today, I am reviewing the Puma Velocity 3. Puma touts the Velocity 3 as your perfect running companion. But is it the perfect shoe? Let's find out on today's review. Cue the music. On today's review, we're going to be talking about the build, the comfort, the performance, and the value. And we'll give each one of those a rating from 1 to 10. But first, voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us about the specs and some features of the Puma Velocity NITRO 3.
The Puma Velocity NITRO 3 is all about speed and comfort thanks to the advanced nitro technology, offering superior responsiveness and cushioning in a lightweight package that feels like you're running on clouds. Get ready to up your running game and feel the rush with the Velocity NITRO 3. It's not just a shoe, it's an experience. As for the specs and features of the Velocity 3, you get the PUMAGRIP outsole rubber, nitro foam, which is nitrogen infused and responsive, plus a PROFOAM EVA midsole for stability and durability. Power tape supported upper, gusseted tongue, TPU heel spoiler, a 10mm drop coming from the 36mm heel and 26mm toe, weighing in at 263 grams or 9.2 ounces in a men's size 9, and a US MSRP of $135. Chad, back over to you.
So I've been running in the Velocity 3 all week, pretty much exclusively, racking up 50 miles in the shoe. And as you can see, we got a couple inches of snow. It's a beautiful morning and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. So first, let's talk about the build or the overall build quality. Not a whole lot to say here, except Puma did a phenomenal job on the Velocity 3. I feel like Puma did a really good job on the choice of materials. That outsole PUMAGRIP rubber is really nice. Just like their other shoes, that outsole is gonna last a long time and it provides really good grip. The midsole build is also really nice and well thought out. You have a bottommost layer of PROFOAM, which is a more traditional foam, but it gives a little bit more stability to the shoe, a little bit more durability, and some protection if you're taking the shoe in some gravel paths or whatever. And of course, you have that nitro foam, which is the majority of that midsole, and that's really, really nice. It's soft and it's responsive, feels good, good quality. If it's anything like their shoes in the past, it's gonna last a long time too. In fact, I took the Velocity 2 to 600 miles, and it seemed that the more I ran in that shoe, the more I enjoyed it, the more I loved it. And I think the same is gonna be true in this shoe. Upper quality is also really nice. Excellent choice of materials that seem durable but comfortable. More on that in a minute. Yeah, really no concerns at all. So frankly, I can't think of any reason not to give it a perfect score. So overall build and build quality, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Good job, Puma. The lake looks pretty cool, all frozen over like this with the snow on it. Really unique, pretty cool. So you're probably wondering, how is the Velocity 3 in conditions like this? Well, that brings me to comfort. It's about 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now, and my feet are very comfortable in the shoe. And part of that has to do with how they built the upper. All right, so there's a lot to unpack here. The whole combination of the gusseted tongue and the flat laces, they're slightly stretchy. The combination of that plus the materials of the outsole and the Puma tape on the medial or the inside part of the shoe, it just wraps around your foot and secures it, locks it down in place really, really nicely. Very snug, but without any pinching or hot spots, none of that. The shoe is a more narrow fit, so if you like that, this is gonna be spot on. If you're looking for a wider shoe, especially one that's wider in the toe box, you're not really gonna find that in the Velocity 3. All of that said, with the tongue being densely but not overly padded, again, those slightly stretchy lay flat laces and the gusseted tongue, it just feels good across your foot. Now, a little word of caution, because the laces are stretchy, you don't need to pull them really tight. There's just something about the combination of the gusseted tongue and the overall fit of the shoe. You don't have to pull tight or cinch down on the laces to get a lockdown feel. In fact, because the laces are stretchy, you can accidentally cinch down on the laces so that it's too tight, which you don't want. So that's just from my experience. You can get a very comfortable lockdown feel without having to really cinch down or pull tight on the laces at all. You're just good to go, even if it's on a 20-mile run like this. The other thing that I want to mention is that the tongue is not only gusseted, show you here on the sides, but it's also connected to a fabric that lines the entire inside of the shoe here. Very similar to their Voyage 3, their trail running shoe. So that makes it more comfortable, but it also makes the shoe a little bit less breathable. So in cold conditions like this, that's perfect. In the middle of a hot summer, might want a little bit more of a breathable shoe, especially in the toes. So I'm not quite sure why Puma decided to build the shoe in that way. They've done it on other shoes in the past, including the Velocity 2. So is it necessary? Probably not. Does it add some durability and overall comfort? Yeah. It also adds just a little bit of weight. So take that for what it's worth. The heel is really nice, lockdown feel on the heel. You got some really good padding around the ankle and no ankle interference because of that heel flare. The midsole is also very comfortable. This is a shoe that I feel like I can run all kinds of runs in. Long runs, easy runs, even faster runs if necessary. The Nitro midsole is such that the more you put into it, the more it gives back. Good choice and balance between comfort, softness, and responsiveness. So I think that's all I gotta say on comfort. Overall score, a 9 out of 10, near perfect. And the only reason for a dock of point is because I feel like the shoe could be just a little bit more breathable. All right, moving on to performance. I already kind of alluded to some of these things, but let's start with the outsole. The PUMAGRIP rubber outsole performs very, very nicely. I already mentioned it's durable, it's very grippy, it's gonna last a long time. It does really well in the wet. It actually is doing pretty good on the snow today too. So performance of the outsole is perfect. That midsole, as mentioned before, has a really nice balance of both being cushioned and soft and responsive, making this shoe quite dynamic. I also really like that Puma decided to add a little bit more nitro foam compared to the Velocity 2. So you're getting about 3 more millimeters of stack. So 36 in the heel, 26 in the forefoot. Most of that is the nitro foam, and that is a very, very good thing. The upper performance is also really nice as it's comfortable. There's no hot spots or wear spots or pinching anywhere. Overall comfort, which allows you to focus on the run. You're not distracted by the shoe in the least. So overall performance as a general use daily trainer, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's still pretty good. Shoe could be just a little bit lighter, making it good for those slightly faster runs. But again, as a daily trainer, something where you're just looking to put in the miles to stay comfortable and to have simply a good shoe for that, yeah, the Puma Velocity 3 probably is your ticket. So now let's talk about value. At $135 US MSRP, I think that's a pretty good value. I know shoes are getting more and more expensive. I can't help but compare it to the $120 Velocity 2 price tag, but you are getting more of a shoe, a better shoe than the Velocity 2, the previous version. So $135, I think that's absolutely worth it. Puma could have charged $150 and that would have been still an okay value. Puma, I'm glad you didn't, but $135, yeah, that's a good deal. Value, 9 out of 10. So, overall synopsis, concluding thoughts. If you're looking for a good daily trainer that you can do most of your runs in, something that's comfortable underfoot, somewhat dynamic and responsive, with a very nice, well-built, quality-built upper, all wrapped up in a high value package, then look no further than the Puma Velocity NITRO 3. I recommend the shoe. I am going to be grabbing this shoe as often as I can, and I think that says a lot about this shoe. I always feel like there's something I'm missing, so if you have a question, definitely drop it down below in the comments. I'll be sure to answer. And again, thank you for being here. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, join the channel membership. It would really help a lot. I've got a lot more content coming to the channel, so stay tuned. A lot of gear and shoe reviews and some pretty cool adventure runs and maybe a couple ultras. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again. Remember to be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile as I am today in the Puma Velocity NITRO 3. See you on the next one. Bye.